had a lot of people's advice, and that's why I found Ruby. And her, I don't know, something about her clicked. Her methods seemed more genuine instead of, not like spinning around or more of those grew, what they call themselves, date whisperers
Pickup
or what they call
pickup
nowadays. And
artist.
those, yeah, pickup artists and stuff. Because that's not me. I want something more genuine, something that would drive me to a specific goal of finding someone. And that's where I am right now. And so far, I've used her methods and took her advice, and has steered me wrong so far. So I'm very pleased.
Mm.
But the ones I do connect, there's just one lady in particular that I kind of connected within the first week, which was
Mm.
surprising, but it was amazing connection. I'm smiling right now, just thinking about how it's so amazing right now. About, we went on a few dates and connected and talked and stuff, and it's a really amazing uh, to connect with someone so quickly, through this online dating process that sometimes is overwhelming. Don't be, as a little snippet of wisdom to everyone who's hearing, it can feel overwhelming at times of that connection if you're not used to it, which for me, I'm not used to it because I never really connected with one that deeply that fast before. But definitely
Mm.
take it one step at a time and see how it goes. But yeah, it's quite amazing to say the least.
All right, hi everyone. Welcome back to another one of these videos where my clients, and I'm so honored that this client has decided to share his story with you. So, in hopes that it will give you hope and inspire you that getting progress and this dating journey and getting what you want is possible. So, today we have Adam here. Hi, Adam. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, Ruby. How about you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Once again, thank you for being here. I'm excited for everyone to hear your story. I feel like it's an inspirational one. So let's hop right in and get started.
All right.
So can you tell everyone a little bit about who you are, kind of where you started before me, and where you are now?
All right. As you Ruby said before, my name is Adam. I'm about 32 now. I live in the Auburn, Washington area of Washington State. My career is kind of both in the military and security. It's probably it's because of confidentiality, I can't explain in more detail. But
Mhm.
before that, my dating experience was very little, or was very old school as far as like not online, mostly in person, but it was like very far in between. And I knew I needed a change, but I didn't know how I would change with this new online thing because I didn't meet as much people in my group of circle of people I knew, internally. So I needed to spread out more, but I needed extra help for that. So I've had a lot of people's advice, and that's why I found Ruby. And her, I don't know, something about her clicked. Her methods seemed more genuine instead of, not like spinning around or more of those grew, what they call themselves, date whisperers
Pickup
or what they call
pickup
nowadays. And
artist.
those, yeah, pickup artists and stuff. Because that's not me. I want something more genuine, something that would drive me to a specific goal of finding someone. And that's where I am right now. And so far, I've used her methods and took her advice, and has steered me wrong so far. So I'm very pleased.
Fantastic, fantastic. And speaking of, I guess, the beginning of it, like in the beginning, what did you kind of worry about? What did you think would make dating harder for you?
Probably, probably mostly of my own insecurities of what I meet their expectations. Like I'm pretty simple, straightforward kind of guy. I don't like messing around or anything. But then because of that, I don't. There's no mystery. There's no
Mm,
hidden talents or something like that maybe some women might find intriguing or fascinating, right? So I'm
mhm.
just it's basically my father basically put it about my characters like, what you see is what you get. You don't get anything else. There's nothing hidden. There's nothing mystery about it. It's just me. So I wasn't sure if
Right.
me would be good enough, especially after one of the relationships I had in person, that it was kind of like an old style of courtship, but it didn't went anywhere because it felt like more like a job interview than actually get to know the person if we were good for each other for any of marriage. So yeah.
Right, right. Okay. And to clarify, because I know you mentioned this before as well, before we work together, you have or have not went into online dating.
Have not.
Okay, okay. And I remember that's why you wanted to join this because you wanted to start it off right, right? Or
Yes.
else it can be
Yeah.
a potential hot mess if you're not too
Hmm.
sure. Great. Okay.
Right. I want to have
So
all the available tools to my disposal to get the right foot in, so to speak. So yeah.
right, right. Love it. Okay. And what do you feel like was your biggest obstacle that you overcame, or you can also talk about the most like helpful knowledge gained during our time?
Oh, probably what got me probably overcome it is trying not to overthink, like trying
Mm,
not to. Well, I try to have an open mind, but probably I did had maybe assumptions or misconceptions about certain methods, and you helped me clear that up a lot
mm,
better. And also, I've also talked to other people too, and other people. I actually know a couple who went on online dating, and I got their advice as well. But mostly, I was overthinking stuff. Like I
mm.
was over what method or what proper way to word certain sentences, then
Right.
just taking it one step back and to say, maybe I need a third, you know, perspective to help me step by step instead of just doing it on my own. So, and since online dating is like totally foreign to me and I'm like totally, you know, green in this area, why not just
Mm,
hire the extra help to see me through it? So, and for that, I
right.
thank Ruby very much, you know, whoever is listening, I thank her very much for that. So,
Oh, that's awesome, and you're welcome. I love that. So with that, give everyone then a little summary of how my guidance specifically, whether my style, PDFs, or accountability, any of that, what do you feel like has really helped you kind of get the dates and the conversations that you do have now?
yeah, the homework was definitely, well, I say it wasn't a challenge, but it was difficult of thinking stuff, like some of the questions you had. It was actually kind of hard trying to film what would be good for me and picking which ones would be profile.
Mhm.
Definitely your PDF for online profiling was definitely the most helpful about what to say or what the ideas of your own character reflect of what you're looking for in a
Yeah.
person. I think that was very inspiring because most profiles I see, they talk about themselves, but it's like, um, but of course, but sometimes you have to like mirror reflect the other person about what your wants and what they want themselves too. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Awesome.
so
Great. Okay. So
something
it seems
that
like I'm
was
glad.
an interesting perspective. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
But,
was very helpful. Yeah,
seems like a combination of kind of different plays at work here, whether it be the PDFs, the strategies, or me coming in and telling you, right, hey Anna,
yeah,
this is what you're overthinking it, or hey, that you gotta change this up. So I guess you're saying it's kind of the combination of it all. Am I right?
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
It's definitely a
Awesome.
combination.
Hey, okay. So now that you've obviously spent time in this online dating world and you've entered into this, tell everyone a little bit more what's been going on. You weren't actually clear of what's been happening with dates, conversations, anyone's you're interested in, things like that.
Okay. Well, to start off, I had like when I started all this, you know, I had like multiple suggestions and trying to make conversations with ladies, and ladies were responding. Some of them were responding back, others didn't. But I kind of expected that you're not going to connect with everyone that you see on profile, even if you send a like or you like what they have to say about themselves. But the ones I do connect, there's just one lady in particular that I kind of connected within the first week, which was
Mm.
surprising, but it was amazing connection. I'm smiling right now, just thinking about how it's so amazing right now about we went on a few dates and connected and talked and stuff, and it's a really amazing uh, to connect with someone so quickly, through this online dating process that sometimes it's overwhelming. Don't be as a little snippet of wisdom to everyone who's hearing, it can feel overwhelming at times of that connection if you're not used to it, which for me, I'm not used to it because I never really connected with one that deeply that fast before. But definitely take it one step at a time and see how it goes. But yeah, it's quite amazing to say the least. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And I remember that's why we were talking previously, but I remember her. She was one of the either first or second matches in that first week, and you guys really, really hit it off. And she obviously
Hmm.
reciprocates it, right? Or
Yeah.
else you wouldn't be
And
here.
she still does too to this day. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
always a good sign. And you're
Yeah.
obviously on your way to planning the next date and stuff. So there's
Hmm.
there's that excited hope within you,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I know. So I hope you see online dating, not that awful, if you can
No,
navigate
it
it.
wasn't as awful as I thought it was because before I thought it was not for everyone or it wasn't for me, but now I said, well, why not? Why not give it a chance? Because I've waited this long to try to find someone. Why not try it on a day and see how it goes? And I tell you, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Is it not bad? It's not bad. It's a great response.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, yeah.
Great, great. Well, many people are normally kind of too scared to get help on such a vulnerable topic. It
Hmm.
can feel shameful. Can you speak to that? And what would you say to
Yeah,
them?
yeah, yeah. I'll be happy to. It's only a vulnerable, in my experience, both in dating, both online and offline, it's only a vulnerable topic if you deem it to be. It doesn't necessarily have to. Now,
Mm,
granted, there is risk involved, but then everything in life has risk. You can't let that dictate whether you can move forward from that or overcome it. Now,
right.
granted, after the one thing with the one lady that I was kind of courting before I went into boot camp, it felt like a job interview, like I said before. Afterwards, I felt a little bitter because it didn't go well because she didn't like the idea of being a military's wife. And that kind of
Mm,
stung because being military and serving and protecting my country was kind of my identity, kind of what I dreamed to do as a career. So
mm,
for like 4 years, I took a break from dating and not divulge anything because I was fearful that they wouldn't, ladies wouldn't like the idea of me a military man. But then one day I was talking with family members and stuff, and then I was thinking, if I don't do something soon, if I do not strive and put this fear behind me about seeing someone because of my background and my job, then they weren't
mm.
worthy in the first place. They weren't, ready to see the real me of what I wanted to strive for in my life. So, but then COVID happened, so it took me a few extra years before I started online dating or for a risk doing that because of craziness and stuff. But here I am now, willing to take the extra mile on this online journey of finding someone. And even though it's later than I had planned, at least I'm striving to go forward from here now. So
Right, right. I love that. And I love how you shared that bit of a story because, well, one, thank you for your service. And
mhm,
two, it's always unfortunate when you feel you love what you do, you wanted to do that, but somebody is saying, no, I don't, because of your career. I wouldn't want to be with you. And it hurts. So as you're
yeah,
saying, we label things as shameful. Maybe for a while, maybe you thought, oh, is what I'm doing shameful? Because that's gonna stop me from having a partner. But at the end of the day, you realize, no, I own this. Like this is what
yeah,
I want to do. And if they
yeah,
think that way, then they're not right for you.
yeah.
Exactly.
And
Awesome.
also,
Awesome.
yeah, also a little note that too. Even if you might feel shameful of waiting for that long, don't be.
Mhm.
Everything has its own timing, and even it might take years to realize or catch up to that. Don't feel so shameful
Right.
that it takes this long. So yeah.
Right. Love it. Love it. So as you know, especially when you began, this obviously investment is an investment in your time, your energy, but also financially. Like it's not just some easy money decision that's easily made for everybody. What are the reasons why you noticed this investment was worth it when you first said yes?
Oh, I think it was when you were helping me with the messaging and looking through the profiles and
Mhm.
seeing me through of how both Hinge and Coffee Meets Bagel works. of those 2 dating sites,
Mhm.
and showing me the steps, and I was more confident because you showed me a little guidance of how to go through it and how best to message. And after, you know, bunch of suggestions and, you know, people messaged me after that, um, it was at that point I realized, oh yeah, I definitely picked the right person for this to help me
Oh,
with this investment because of the methods that I trust the system. So basically, so
right, right. Fantastic. Well,
yeah.
thank you.
Now, granted, I might not have had much choice because it was all new to me, and I had no clue if it would work or not. But I'm glad it did. So yeah,
Right, right. And I mean, thank you for trusting me. And I think it actually leads to one of our last questions here, which is um, you obviously have gained progress and a bit of success and
Mhm.
excitement here, right? You've done
Yeah,
well, but
yeah,
it's also clear that there are certain qualities you, and I asked you to probably do it in the beginning, qualities you needed as well to make this successful for you. I just don't come in and fix everything and you don't listen at
right,
all, right?
right.
So what qualities do you think a guy needs to be successful in my program? And be like you, feeling pretty good about this and feeling hopeful and excited.
Well, yeah, definitely. I would say definitely, you know, come back and, you know, look at the notes or and be mindful of the process of how you
Mm,
became successful or how yourself or myself in my case, you know, successful of getting the steps I am right now and continue working on it. And don't
mhm,
be as a and don't hesitate, you know, to try to maybe improve upon yourself on and continue working on it, or maybe ask for assistance or asking for help back if it's particular methods not working. But I mean, I
right.
don't have any problems, but someone else might have. But there's nothing shameful of asking for more continued assistance on the process that you do. But I definitely would say trust the process and
Yeah.
go fall back on it, even if it's doesn't you don't see results right away. If it doesn't mean that you might see results like a week or a month or two now,
Yeah.
from now. So yeah.
Exactly. Trust. I love that. Great, great. And the last question I have for you here is most guys who are listening to this, and especially if they've made it this far, they are kind of on the fence about getting guidance in this area in their life. And they're obviously on the fence about it, wondering if they should. Um, how would you like to close out and what would you like say to these guys?
I would definitely say that is normal, but you shouldn't um, overcome or dictate your judgment of moving forward or try and be better of trying to do online dating. I mean, we all have our doubts, we all have our fears, and we all have our uncertainties and even insecurities, but it's
Right.
how we define them and how we move forward from them that will really show our character and not let it hold us down. So I
There
would
you
definitely
go.
say, yeah, definitely say, you know, recognize it, you know, understand why it's there, but don't let it dictate or hold you down with like a bag of bricks. So yeah,
Right, right. I love that. I mean, the way you stated too is it's always okay to feel these feelings, right? But
yeah,
once again, I think you're adding the step here of understanding it, but then also giving power back to yourself and asking, what do you want to do? How are you going to
yeah.
take a step forward, right? And just take it from there.
Hmm.
Awesome. All right. Well, that is it. And that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much, Adam, for taking your time to talk to me. Well,
No
technically
problem.
talk to all of you who is listening right now. But really appreciate it. I think once again, I think just a combination of who you are and how you showed up to the program as well. I could tell this was something that you really wanted. It was something
Yeah,
that you really wanted in your life. And I think with that motivation, you showed up in our sessions too. You trusted, you did it, and now you have some promising, well, one lady is very promising, so we'll see where it goes. There's other ladies you've spoken
well,
to, and there's
yeah.
one
There's
that
others
really
like
stands out to
potential
you.
ladies, yeah. But I really
But
like this one lady so far. But yeah, we'll see how the future holds. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Let's see. Always good to have hope and that excitement. But thank you so much. Thank you everyone for listening, and watch out for one of my next videos. But thank you so much, Adam. Bye.
Bye.